Cash flow statement, the net cash flow from operating activity was 14,192. The net cash balance was 106, net change was 128. That's giving you a close cash balance of 320,075. The cash flow, uh, that is the cash position in terms of the movement in the bank, in terms of the operating activities. Ours are operating activities because we don't have any investment or any financing, but we had a financing of 114, 507 from what you guys, from what you members expect. From the financials, we got unqualified clean audit certificate that we received, but like I've said, it wasn't that from the auditor, external auditor. But unfortunately, we've not been able to get hold of the leadership that is supposed to be very substantive to be able to sign the financial. But if they sign based on the evidence and the support that we have with the auditor, these are the key audit findings. One is the financial statement gives a true and fair view of the organization's financial condition as at 30th September 2025. Statements prepared in accordance with the International Financial Reporting IFRS compliance with Section 10 of the Societies Act and confirmed. Out of that, basically just to support what I've just said, this is our bank as we know, Kuria Professional Association. We are a registered entity, and we have a bank with cooperative bank as a kind of branch. The current account, we don't have fixed deposits. Every month that we incur bank charges. And as you can see here, from the bank balance as of 30th September 2025 is 330 million. But from this money, we were able to take or to withdraw 130,000 so that we can spend it in this particular time. And we had gotten, so we got the actual in terms of what we're going to spend from the hotel. We also supposed to take another 15,000 that we are supposed to pay our auditor. But from this money again, we have some arrears from the auditor. Also, for the 3 years that we have challenges with the compliance, we didn't have the financials that is supposed to be approved. Our budget is basically cash based because we don't do any business. What it means is that anytime like we have an activity, the expo comes in place and then decides that we are going to spend with that. So, for example, if I go now to the real financials, I have to present something that was high level, and I take the shortest time possible just to. So in terms of compliance, what I was trying to say, and I want to be very clear, is that normally our financials end at 30th June 2025. But because of transparency and visibility, we thought that it was very good for you to know the position because we had to close the balances as at 30th. I'm very aware that even to the bank, so we might be having something. So the 130 plus what members currently are sending through, should be having a balance which is around 200,000. But we have a balance we can very sure as at 30th September 2025, we had a balance of 185,075, the cash position in terms of what we have. But just to show you in terms of what it takes for compliance, our financials are as a target group. It means that if we submitted this to the audit and then to the registrar in time, we have no problem. But before we submit, in terms of the comparatives, and all that I say, because I don't want to take much time to present what we shared with you, I shared these members, those are the members' opinion from, this is our auditor. I think that is very important. You can take the details and then you can confirm actually this is the position. In terms of the comparison, as we've just seen, according to this, we only show 2025. But according to you and also the auditor, we are showing September 2025. So that should tell you that we're trying to be very, we're trying to be very accountable and responsible in terms of the spending and what is happening. Term 2026, financial year 30th June 2026. What I'm sharing with you, plus any other activities that we have happened, that will be the position. That will be the position of our financials. These, I'll just run through the opinion, like I just said, that we should be under the opinion of the auditor, as you can see. In our opinion, the company financial statement gives a true and fair view of the financial position of the association that started June and its financial performance and cash flows for the year amended in accordance with the international financial reporting standards and the requirement of the under section 10 of the normally, as accountants, when we the financials, we make sure that they comply with the global policies and international reporting standards by submitting all the supporting evidence and even the cash position in terms of the bank balances. So that is what we did. In terms of the budget take-up, let's see. For us, we don't have like an actual budget. If I was to present my budget, which I have as an accountant, because it's good for you to see in terms of what I was trying to do. Over budget, so this is the budget. The current budget is the position right now, looking at what happens between June and September because of the sector. We're looking, for example, to have it, and I've given the assumptions that we give our the assumption number one, members abroad, which will be projected, which will project to be 30% membership subscription, so that we can increase, we can improve from 382,500 to maybe 497. If we did that by increasing the number, which we're going to do. And then have an ability clearance which we had, and have a result 10% target for the sustainability in terms of what we do to the society or to the community, and program expansion and allocation for the community programs and membership. Just had operational efficiency 497, 250. They can go up. If, for example, you have to go back to state, all factors there constant, or if the president has to visit us, it will go up to 447, 545, and then projected surplus. If we did that, we have a surplus of 49,755, and reserve funds target of 10%. But let us say, so our budget is 130 because of this event, plus the media, which is 5,000 that we pay, plus the 15,000 that we are supposed to pay the auditor after the members or the management committee have signed those financials. And then any other staff that comes up, of course, we have to get the approval. So for now, what we want to get from in terms of approval is the 130 which we are supposed to spend here, the 5,000 which we are supposed to pay the media, who are here, Elisha and media, and then the 15,000 which we are supposed plus 15,000 plus 45,000. I talked about the 3 years that we are supposed to pay the auditor. That comes to 60,000. So, remember, you can approve for us that amount, and if there's any question from the financial in terms of what is coming up, you can ask that question. But we need an approval of 60,000, 15 plus 45. That should be 65 plus. So this 55, 45 plus 15 is 60 plus 5, 65, and then plus 130 for the event. And then we'll be good. So I would want to pass this chance to anyone if there's any question to the members on the chat, or if there's a question on the chat, then I should be able to respond. On the financial piece.
Yes, I have a question now. Hello?
Yes, yes.
Yes, CPFO, thanks so much for the comprehensive summary report. I'm unable to reconcile the items on the income. The main source of income is member subscription.
Absolutely.
So if subscription, can you clarify that?
Okay, basically, thank you so much for the question. You can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, if you look at our subscription, as you can
Recording
see,
stop.
we have members 230, and the names are there. The information is available to all of us. from the WhatsApp group, and then we have to get it by what we it's one of the things for returns to reporting. So if you are reporting from June, you have to end your reporting at June. If you are reporting from January, for example, we have to report within like 5 weeks. If we have to report from January to July, then it's a different position. So for the financials, normally we are by the principles they can just say, and this is the actual balance in terms of what we have, for example, for 2023 today is 568.
Recording in progress.
But when we are reporting, we cannot report that because we have to divide it by period. But if you look at the bank position, you have this money. So if you look at the total subscription, which is 568,800 minus the 568,800, you have a balance in the bank of 315 minus the 130 we have just talked about. So, and our reporting is not on a full base. We only accrue the audit fees because we know about that.
Okay.
Thank you so much. And then the other thing is basically the breakdown. For example, if you look at those financials, I say I don't want to take my time because I've given that breakdown. For example, you'll be able to see a media coverage of 49,000. What we did is that if you want that breakdown, we paid, for example, this is we did, for example, if you look at this, we did pay 10,000 to our full land limited. That is where we did, that was the value for us to cover the gifts, gifts, and food that we did. And then we paid the media coverage 10,000. We paid another 15,000, and we paid KTN 6,000, we paid just in KBC. So a total of 48. So if you have to go through all that, you realize that it will be too bad for us. Just like what we paid even to the health support that we gave to this guy called William Marlon Bassi. And we even had a deficit of 19,968, but then, someone came for us to be able to clear that bill. All this. What we normally do is that all the receipts, we try to put the receipts that we can see them in M-Pesa transactions. They're there, and this information should be available to you as and when you want it. So, and that will be able to support the receipts. Any other questions, please? Maybe if members agree, but then I don't know whether it is very possible because remember, for the bank, there's a question: can we open an account that doesn't charge? How often do we make withdrawals? Can we open an account that doesn't charge bank charges? Remember, for the bank, they only make money out of the interest and the bank charges. So I'm not very sure if it is very possible, but what we're going to do, I'll try to ask if it is a fixed account. Remember, you must pay some fee to the bank. So I don't think it is very possible, but for the expo and the expo, the incoming leadership will take this up and try to find out if it is very possible to have an account. For example, running the entire year, and then you don't pay anything. And honestly, with our experience, I don't think there is any bank that can give us that service, whereby you just deposit money and then you don't pay anything. You can try, but I want to challenge the incoming leadership and see if it's possible.
There is none.
There is none. A member is confirming that there is none.
I think also in relation to that, I think thanks so much for confirming there is none. But from the bank statement, you've seen that the online fees were being charged of 2,400 per month. But the bank statement that CP has projected, we don't have that. So a bank account that does not charge, hata sheria wanasema ni sheria, but kuna kitu wanafiki hapo, they don't call it interest. They say like an operating, some operating cost, but they charge something. So I highly doubt if the ex can get an account that they don't charge. So even the members from online, if there's anything, please feel free to let us know so that we are able to answer your question before now we hand over to the electoral team. Maybe the members here, anyone? Yes.
Did you pose that question whether we should approve the 130 or whatever, 50,000 or my concern was now your interest has been overtaken by event. we think, yeah, we need to approve that, because now that's part of your expo. We see that in the report count.
Yeah, members, we need to get an approval from you in terms of what I've just said, 130,000, which we have the support for the venue. 65,000, he said 5,000 the media, 45 plus 15 the auditor. If you can approve that amount for us to be able to make the next event, I think it will be good.
And that was my question comes. What's the basis for us to approve an expenditure which was already incurred? We're already at the venue, the decision was made by the management, which will pass to do the decision. Now, why are we approving an expenditure that we already incurred? We're already at the venue.
Okay, thank you so
Come
much.
rain, come sunshine, you have to pay.
We have to pay. No, what we're trying to do actually is not like really an express approval, but I think it's very important sometimes to be very open to the members in terms of what you're trying to do.
No, you as the management,
It's what?
you spent 40,000
Yes.
people, we did not approve.
Absolutely.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't that in the report?
Yeah.
Now, why do you want us to approve this 130 now? What, you made a decision to spend, we hope it
Okay.
into the financials
Okay.
come 2020.
2026.
Thank you.
So the reason why we basically asking for the approval is this is more of a budget, which will be able to present in 2026 as at June. So right now what we've done is I've just said even the 260 that we're able to see is not within 2025 period because our report is at 2025 period was 15,000. So this will be reported in 2026, the 30th June. So for us to get that so that we can spend, because we doing this past the reporting period, and that is very important also to the registrar in terms of the explanation. Maybe, okay, maybe,
So, members online, please just mute. Thank you so much. So I think just for the interest of time, and allow me to say that Exco has the mandate. So to be able to incur expenses, then we can submit the reports to you people. So asking for us to maybe like you approve our request that we don't ask that, because what we did is we were able to secure a venue. Just mute all of them. So we were able to secure the venue. Venue was communicated, and to me, I feel the Exco has that mandate to be able to do that, and we present you the accounts. So what we can do is maybe criticize or critique the accounts, but in terms of this, I think if we bring it to members, it will go can you approve? So I think it will be too much worse. So the report that you are going to receive, and the reason why we September is to ensure that we have everything, including the State House visit, which was a huge expense in terms of almost 253,000 that were reported. Thank you. Any other comment?
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. Just a report of what my brother will be asking. Maybe we can replace the word approval with concurrence from the members. Seeking concurrence of what they have done rather than seeking approval. Yeah. Use concurrence. Are we concurring with what they have done rather than requesting for approval?
Thank you. I think from the members I'm seeing they are not. Can you mute all those guys?
Hii ni nchi tuna adopt. Ndio. What did you do hapo? Ilitakiwa tu adopt hiyo audited financial report. Sio? Yote kama ilivyo. We adopt. Lakini hajatuambia tu adopt hiyo report. Ametuambia ukae basi unavyotaka na matumizi ya laki na 30 na kitu ambacho tunasema hiyo sio jukumu letu sisi, ni wao kama viongozi wao watumie wanavyoweza, sisi watumie, sisi tutawahold accountable. Tutakapoona wamesema kuna risiti, tutakuja kuangalia hiyo laki na 30 iko kweli imetumika ipasavyo au kuna ujanja. Kwa nini watuambie sisi tukonkaa, alafu waje baadaye tunapowahold accountable waseme tuwaambie tukasema sawa, wao wabebe msalaba wao.
Basically, I can just say that what we're trying to do in terms of the concurrence or the approval is that this is more of a budget, and they say that we don't have a budget, so we will have just left it open. But because we are here, we're reporting the balance as at 30th September 2025, like having a balance of 350 in the bank. But right now, if we go to the bank, we don't have that money because we've already taken 130,000. And it's an AG. So what do? You either concur or get an approval to spend that money, because what I'm presenting to you should be the position you went to the bank. I don't know if you get me again. So come 2025, 2026, of course there should be evidence in terms of whether this money was spent and the receipt should be given. But to the members, it is very important for them to know if the new leadership get in place, assume I'm not the one, for example, then they're asking for the balance. You see, there will be a disconnect between what we have and what basically they have, because they will be looking to have 315 in the bank, and in actual sense, they don't have 315 in the bank. So maybe a professor or someone else can just confirm.
Give me a minute. My senior in the profession here, listen, I want my senior in the profession to basically respond to that question. Alafu mfunge, then we go to another thing.
Sure. Thank you so much for this ambush. I was listening. Well, what the treasurer has taken us through, and then 30th June 2025. In other words, that is when our financial year ends.
I'm not sure if it's myself, but CPA call, I cannot hear you anymore. How's the silence?
For what I can say, these are very technical reasons. There is an expenditure that, according to experts, they think was too much and is unusual compared to other financial years. So they are also giving us this information between 1st July to 30th September, simply for financial information. This is for financial information. And this one has taken place. But I think when we meet next year again, our financial year will still be between 1st July to 30th June. But it is like we are sharing this information in advance. Again, we are sharing this information in advance. That's what I'm saying. Now, for whether we need to approve this spending like what we are spending today, I think this is what they are doing. They are only being accountable. They are only being accountable. They are telling us what they are going to do today. I don't think you need them approve. It is just for information. It's just for information. And I think so that we don't like it so much, let us leave it at this point. That we are here to look at the financials for the year ending 30th June. If there is anything that you are not happy about that financial year, then you can tell it here. Anything between 1st July to date, it is just for financial information. Let us take it that. We don't need it, but let us know it is happening. I think, Treasure, that is what I can say.
Thanks so much. I think that is very good. Sometimes there's no need of speaking when you have somebody who can sweat on your behalf. So thanks so much, CP. I really appreciate that. So based on that, I think now, do we have any other, maybe from the online members? First of all, they are complaining that they can't hear us. John Chacha, can you hear us?
Now we can hear you, Chair.
Thank you, sir. Ni mic ilikuwa inaleta issue lakini tumeikomoa kiasi. So maybe you can check online if there's any other question.
I can go. So thank you. Thank you for the presentations, very clear. So my question is, the other day, we had a sharp increase in membership by virtue of the visit that we were meant to have gone to State House. What else are we, or you as our leaders in Kupa, doing to scale up that membership? Because I'm aware that Kuria has lots and thousands of professionals who should be joining this particular organization. So I don't know, what efforts do we have in place, or are we thinking of to increase this membership so that we can have the numbers and the voice to achieve what we need to be achieving? Thank you.
Thank you so much. You can hear me, the online people? Okay, thank you so much. So maybe to respond to you, Waziri, for me, I respond, for example, as an ex-current, if I'm elected, for example. As an EXCO, what we did basically was for us to have a KPI in terms of the leadership. And I agree that because normally when we vote, we have to focus on our Kuria community. So we divide, as I can say, you have to bring 20 people for money. We did of us. And they left the full of the we went to I think it will be very easy for also maybe discussing what we need to do for us to be. Then the other thing, basically, just then the other thing, the other thing from you for us to know. Maybe it will focus in terms of what we need for the leadership. Or accelerate the
Now that we've taken us a report on last year's expenditure, for the period of 2024, can assume 5 to 30 June, we have a budget that probably we are intending to incur in the same period, so that when we are meeting next year, and that's the approval that probably needs that we intend to incur in the course of this financial year, so that now when you are reporting, you tell us that we had agreed with this issue, that these are the various activities we are expecting to undertake, because we must have an income that we tend to get in this financial year. Then the expenditure of the same, so that now when we are reporting, like my friend was asking, how do you want us to approve an expenditure that you've already incurred, yet in the previous year you didn't even project it? So I expect you to project exactly what you need to, what activities need to be undertaken, so that in the same AGM you are able to account for it.
Any other questions so that I can take all the questions at once? I'll respond to that question. If there's no any other question. When I was dealing with it, I had done my submission on the very, if you look at the projection, maybe you have all you have. I gave the assumptions. I'm saying that if, for example, we increase this membership by 30%, we like it to improve our revenue. And I'm going with the projection again. Our chair said, finance is over. You know, we have reporting in terms of the associations, you know, the president has a bit different. Going by 30% acceleration increase, we like people to collect. If we did that, we collect, we have a collection of 472 people. And I said, all factors held constant. If tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, we like to have another state house visit, and I'm looking at the maximum, we will have an expenditure of 427 from 268 400,447,525. And then we're going to have a projected surplus of 49,725. And then we will have a 10% fund target in the reserve. If we had, for example, an activity that we have to give back to the community, we'll still have money. Just like when something came out, as a leadership, we have 185,000 in the bank, we can do an activity. So that is what we try to do. So in terms of the budget, and that is the question what people was trying to ask, we gave them the projections and we told you, for example, what we know. What we know between now and June is the audit fee. It is 50,000. And then maybe we say, because we're doing something very big, we like to have additional million, and we pay you 5,000. All factors there constant without making an assumption that we're going to have an increase in terms of inflation, maybe by 10%, but we have to factor in that, in terms of everything. But for the audit fees, if the taxes remain where they are because we don't charge, that is what we want. Again, if the very number is likely to come by 2026, that will be the spend, like 130, whatever we spend today. We can have a plus in the side. One, that is 10%. I don't know that will respond to your question. Thank you so much. Any other questions?
Thanks so much. I think we have CPA James Muribi. You've raised your hand. You can unmute and ask your question. Joe, can you hear us?
Hello, Joe, you can hear us? Hello.
Please check your mic.
What are we going to do? I think they have muted their mic. Yeah?
That's what I'm saying.
So, Joe, you can hear us? Hello?
You're in church and Muhanga. You're there. Loud and clear. Thank you, sir. Thank you. You guys don't mute. Thank you.
Okay. So, Joe, you can hear us now?
Absolutely.
So, basically, I was responding to a question from a member. The member was asking us to give, for example, a projection in terms of the current position of the financials and the budget. And he said that all factors held constant. What will be the projection in terms of the budget? If, for example, today we are to have a very, very number of people, and another thing, if, for example, it goes back to the State House, and this is the position, and the member in the room is happy with the response. So I think I didn't want to go much, and then there's another question from online. We can respond. Maybe Maureen, what is your question? You can unmute Maureen and ask the question.
Good afternoon, PPF.
Good afternoon.
Mine is just to say thank you. And for the interest of time, I wanted to congratulate the great pressure for the good work done. We've seen all the financials presented, they got a qualified opinion, which is a very clean opinion from the auditor. I really want to emphasize that we continue in the same spirit. And from where we sit, I think personally and the management members we are satisfied, we can do the agenda for the interest of time.
Thank you so much, sir.
So, thanks so much, online members. Allow me now to log anyone out who has a comment, a question, or you seek clarification.
Thank you, Chair. This is just an observation. It has to do with the budget that we have. that is already concluded. But I think we need to think broadly. Why do we limit ourselves to all our annual subscriptions unless our constitution so directs? Why can't we think like this? So that whoever becomes the treasurer doesn't stop you from coming up with what the government because of the local brackets. Why don't we think of whether also needs things like donations, fundraising? I think this is something that if we say we want to fundraise, we don't need to look for ideas. We can think on our own. And I know we are capable. Because now, if we want to raise like the 400 and like I saw it, if our needs goes beyond that, what do we do? And I think maybe the way we need to look at it in the future is that we have the thematic groups, which according to me are so silent. We don't even know how much they are, how many they are. When they meet, what do they discuss? We should be giving such reports in this kind of forum as well. So can we think broadly? That is just part of it.
Again, this is a question also to be responded by the exco. But for example, for my sake, because he gave me the money, what do you like to do, sir? Maybe I'll pass it over to my here after just to respond because it's a question about the incoming leadership and we are part of that leadership. For me, if today I'm elected, and one of the things that I need to work on is basically to revive the government representation.
Objection. Chair, objection. Why is he campaigning?
Yeah, I think my senior we take that. Please. I think I'm so happy the way we are keeping each other check. My brother there, I'm so happy that you are making sure that nobody diverts. And to me, I totally agree with you. The campaign initiatives are so no more campaigns. And I don't know, Joe, if there's any maybe check if there's any other comment. If there's no any other comment, which I think here we're okay. I will request that any comments. So members, thanks so much. I sincerely want to thank you, and I think now when I'll stand here, I'll be Raia. So when I'll be standing here again, I might be Raia wa kawaida, but allow me to say that as we start the next process, do not vote and go. The 100 and the part of the 130 that CPA Paul has mentioned, we have 60,000 that is remaining here because of our food and all this facilitation. So please, when we vote, let's not say tumekuja kupiga kura twende. No, we still have some other unfinished businesses that I want us to finish. Now, based on that, allow me now to humbly request that I submit this as my last bit as the chair, unless you can kubaliana, that I call upon the election team to take us in the next phase, which is now going into election. And I'm sure everyone is excited. And please, I request that msitufute wote. Tusifanye kazi, try our best, but tuone venye mambo yanakuwa. So I'm not campaigning, but JJ, I think JJ with your team, want to hand over the mic to you. Thanks so much, sir.
You know, the chairman has been on his feet for quite some time. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I want to make sure that because the elections are transparent, credible, and verifiable. So I also want to make sure that I am audible, transparent, and verifiable. If you want to verify, you can verify it here. If you want to make sure that I'm transparent, I can do a 360 degree. You see that there's nothing that I'm carrying within myself. So, honorable professionals, members of Cooper, and esteemed brothers and sisters, we have come to a very critical moment that we want to transition into another agenda as the chair has indicated. And this particular agenda item is the election of the Cooper executive officials. As per the constitution of Cooper, there are several positions, 6 of them, that are subject to elections. And before I do that, I want to introduce the team that we're going to manage this activity, this particular agenda. So we are 4 board members. We are physically present here, 2 of us, and other 2 are online because this activity is going to happen for people who are here and the people who are online. So we have also to make sure that we do the balancing. There are some of us are here and some are in a space where it's very comfortable to support the online team. So my name is Yagi John Juma. I am serving in this particular exercise as the chairperson of the Cooper Election Board for 2025. And with me is my fellow board member. He will introduce himself, and then I will also give a chance for those who are online to introduce themselves. Okay.
Afternoon. I'm Kuria Section Block, part of the electoral board. And as part of the electoral board, my task was to prepare the electoral procedures, the forms, and the code of conduct. I know the person online have received some forms which will be scheduled. And as part of the procedures, our elections will be democratic and supported by
Thank you very much, Monokili and fellow board member. Joe Chacha, are you there, my brother?
Before you guys, umesema we've been having some compliance issues. Yeah? Some compliance issues. That there is a compliance with the So the financials of Planet is about, and then in an AGM we are supposed to appoint and confirm an auditor. I saw the minutes of the previous financial AGM. We did not do that. And the registrar of societies can decline to register those financials because we did not approve the audit. So kindly be guided before we move on. Minutes is capture if you cannot confirm the auditor for the next, for this is a financial aspect. As per the registering and the government.
So as part of this, I think it should be around the last item where we present you the auditor, because in their financial they have expressed interest to continue, but in our agenda there is part where we are proposing that this case has expressed interest, can you allow them to continue? So there is a way that we are.
Thank you, Joe. Please go. Go on, you. Okay. So I wanted also you to know that he is there. Chacha is a member of the board and is a member of the board. The other member of the board is Dr. Saburu, also joining us from the she also supports the elections is just one agenda item of the AGM. As the board, we had, this was declared, the venue was published, the notice was sent, and members were given candidates as the requirements that you have to declare where the meeting is going to happen. How about now? Yeah. Can you get me now?
So members, just give us 1 minute. Yes. Okay, you can just give us a minute. Can you hear me now? Can you confirm you can hear us? Yo, Chacha, can you hear me? Morimi. Joe, can you hear us?
appears the online audience those following us are going to be there. So I want to give back the pressure to answer some of the questions.
So at this point, this one did the election.